You're listening to Catholics in Ordinary Time. I'm your host, Father Jack Bentz. For the last 6 weeks, I've been in conversation with the music leaders within a Catholic setting, typically music leaders for liturgy, for the Mass, for weddings, funerals. It's been a very good series. It's been part of my ongoing curiosity about these different demographics within the regular Catholic Church, the ordinary Catholic Church. And often we have opinions about one another, but what if we asked different folks within those particular groups what their experience is like? And certainly for musicians, certainly for people that go to Mass, they like the music or they don't like it, they have better ideas about it, or maybe they used to be a musician. That's been my experience because, yes, I'm a priest and I'm often presiding, but I also used to be a musician as a singer and to work with music directors. So I was interested to know what their experience is like in that setting. A lot of our conversation was around relationships. So what's the relationship between the music director and other musicians, people that they have either recruited, sometimes they're paid, sometimes they're volunteer, depending. There was a wide range of folks represented. But then also sometimes there are members of the congregation who, want to contribute, want to be part of an ensemble that may not have the same level of expertise or accomplishment or experience. We even had one person we interviewed, Jake Einek, who does a lot of school masses. And so it might be a week where all the second graders are doing the music. And where's the capacity in him to bring forth those kind of voices? So super interesting to hear what those relationships are between the music director and the musicians. And then also there was this ongoing relationship between the music director and the congregation, because in one way, the music director is there to serve the congregation, but different music directors understand it at different times, in their career. Sometimes it's just give them what they want, which can be good, but also ways to bring a congregation along into, different parts of the repertoire, different kinds of music, but also the Mass setting itself, so that people can learn more and really understand music as part of the liturgical experience, in which people can, give full-throated praise through music and also through the ritual. So that relationship was also important between the music directors and the congregation. So the music directors are in relationship with the other musicians, wide range, and then with the congregation, wide range. And also sometimes that relationship was kind of rocky, because a new music director would come into a parish and people are used to doing it one way, and maybe the growing edge is a little bit rough. And then finally, the last relationship that was important, certainly important, between the music director is music director and leadership, typically the pastor, because yes, the music director works for the pastor. And sometimes, depending on who I was talking with, some of them have been brought into really like a leadership team and really seen as part of the leadership of the parish and of the liturgical work. Sometimes they were actually just kind of ignored and kind of marginalized within those conversations. And also sometimes the pastor or the leadership, maybe it's the team, just wants the music good and they don't want to get involved. And sometimes they want music a particular way and really want to get involved and are super directive. So these relationships all have a certain amount of challenge for the music director themselves to navigate. The relationship with musicians, the relationship with the congregation, and the relationship with leadership. All very interesting to hear how these directors navigated that. And then I think the last thing that I really came forward for me is trying to hear from music leaders how working a liturgy, serving the liturgy, what happens to their prayer life within all of that. And as a priest, I struggle with that all the time of like, I do want to be prayerful within the liturgy, but I also have a performance element that is my responsibility. And musicians have that same situation, whether they started as church people and then became musicians, or started as musicians and then kind of became church people, or ministers, how they navigate that. Yeah. And finally, being a church musician, as it turns out from these interviews, is demanding and can take a real toll on people's families, because it's kind of crazy hours and trying to manage all that. But fundamentally, the desire to serve came out of this really big heart for the people, for the work, for what's possible in Catholic worship. So really enjoyed the series. If you've not listened to all the interviews in it, please take a moment and go back and listen to those. You can also watch these interviews because this is also a video podcast. So you can check our YouTube page or whatever the platforms that actually provide video content as well. It's all there if you want to see these people, see what they look like. That's nice also. Finally, thank you so much for listening to Catholics in Ordinary Time as we continue to build an audience and build this community of asking better questions of different parts of the Catholic Church to continue to understand who we are as a people, who we are as a faith community, and who we could be. So again, thank you.